We did, yeah.
How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling all right, Turkish, right? And I'm feeling glad all over. Yes, man. I'll tell you what, I've had a beer.
Okay, now I understand.
One beer,
I've had beer and judgy nuts.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to Game Day preview. I have lost my voice, so please bear with me. Matisse is also off sick, so we have the wonderful Lee Judges joining us today.
Super sub.
He's actually a super sub.
Yeah. I'll take that.
I'm buzzing to have you with me.
That.
Buzzing to have you here with me. But anyway, show must go on.
Show must go on.
Have games to get through. Apologies. First and foremost, let's start with Saturday. Leeds against Newcastle. I mean, for me, I think Leeds are going down at this point.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying that they think that Newcastle could potentially drop out of the top four. A few rumblings. I can't see that happening. What do you think?
No, I think they've got some favourable fixtures, Newcastle. And being up there with that crowd, I think that'd be enough to just see them over the line. I'm with you on Leeds. Defending not good enough. And I think at the end of it, when you're in the dogfight down there at relegation, I think defending is key. And you know, to do it once against Man City, I can understand, but then to do exactly the same thing again, I weren't happy.
Are you just salty because you thought they
I think I was a little bit. I was a little bit disappointed with Leeds, if I'm going to be honest. But no, they put up a good fight at the end. But I think defensively not strong enough, and it is a worry for me.
Do you think they were wrong to? Well, obviously, when they sacked Jesse Marsh, do you think they would have had a better chance of staying up had they have kept Jesse Marsh?
Yeah,
I do.
I do. I'll tell you what, and I've been really honest. One of the toughest away performances this season was Leeds.
And even at home, you struggled for the first half.
First half, they was difficult, but up there we was hanging on. VAR decision went our way, which was the correct one. But it was a tough afternoon, and listen, sometimes it works, doesn't it, and other times it don't. And I think for that reason it didn't. And I didn't think they was in danger of being relegated when they sacked them.
No, I didn't have them.
I didn't
as
have them
a team
down.
to go down either.
No, I wouldn't have thought that they was going to be relegated at that point. But now,
about a month ago, I changed my opinion.
I looked at them against Arsenal. They played well in the first sort of 10, 15, then crumbled a little bit. Do you know when you get those? I look at other teams down there and they're fighting and they're losing by the odd goal. You know, Crystal Palace, I felt were always going to be safe because they were just losing by the odd goal. But Leeds are now shipping 4-1s, 3-1s. So I was very surprised by that, and that's probably the thing that's got them relegated.
Look, they still can get out. They're on the same points as Leicester. Everton are 2 points ahead. Forest are 3 points ahead, and then it's kind of got a 5-point gap to West Ham. So if they were to pick up points, obviously they can get themselves out of trouble a little bit, but I still think, even looking at their goal difference, -25, for me, that's pretty much I think they're going down, even with Aladice.
They've got a tough ask now. They've got to win 2 out of 3, I think, to survive.
Especially against Newcastle as well.
Yeah,
they're going to want to cement that
Newcastle
top 4.
and then putting pressure on the last 2 games.
Yeah.
So and at this moment in time, they're not relying. They've got to rely on other teams to slip up.
Absolutely.
And get themselves out of it as well, like, you know. So, I think that it's a shame because I've always wanted Leeds to come up because I've got a little soft spot for Leeds.
Yeah.
You know,
that first season they played such great football under Bielsa.
Yeah, it's a shame, but you know, been badly managed this season. I think not so much on, but definitely off the field.
What's your prediction scoreline?
Oh, 3-1.
3-1.
I think Newcastle going up there last week. The crowd are all together again. Like, you know, the board can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
It really is a vibrant place at the moment, and I think they know after what happened to them last weekend that they know that they need to win this to secure that 4th place, and I think they deserve it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think they deserve it, and their fans were magnificent, by the way. And as I say, like, you know,
it was a bit uncharacteristic, that game last week.
Why is that then?
Just from a Newcastle perspective, I mean, they absolutely, in my opinion, they just peppered you for like the first 15 minutes. Obviously, that controversial penalty that then was rescinded, and they had quite a few chances. They hit the post loads of times, and it just, I don't know, like, I didn't expect that result to be how it was.
No, it was good. Like, we lasted 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I sort of lasted the whole game, which is what, certainly some other teams don't do that.
Wow.
But you have to ride that storm.
You do have to ride.
You have to ride that storm,
Ride
mate,
that
you know what I
storm.
mean? If you ride that storm, you never know. And I think that's. Listen, I was really shocked because I've been up. I didn't go last year, but like before, you know, the ownership. That was the first time I've been up on the ownership. I couldn't believe the atmosphere. Everybody's
Brilliant.
together again, like, you know. They were all a little bit down going there, like, you know, but they were vibrant.
I have to be honest, I really look forward to seeing them in Europe. I
Oh,
really can't
yeah.
wait. For their fans, they've got such, I think for me, they're the best fan base in the country. So to see them like that,
Yeah.
you know, it's such a massive club. It's been a sleeping giant for so long. So to see them be back to where they were,
Yeah,
where they
and-
should be in terms of the size of the club, I think
100%.
I'm really looking forward to it.
100%, and you know, like, they're humble fans as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They've had some really tough
They're
times.
not saying like, oh, we want to spend this money and everything like that. I was talking to a few after the game. They're happy where they are, progressing. Don't want the superstar
Yeah.
signings. They just want their club to be successful in the right way.
Absolutely.
They don't like it when people have a go about the money
Yeah, I know. But you-
because they've not spent massive amounts
They
of money.
haven't spent massive money, but I think the wage bill is pretty high.
Yeah.
But even so, you're owned by a state, so just own the fact you're owned by a state. I want to be owned by a state.
Yeah, just,
I'd
you
love
know
to be
what
owned
I mean?
by
Yeah.
a Saudi state, please. Right, anyway, moving on. Another relegation game, Southampton against Fulham. I can only see that this is a Fulham win for me. Southampton are down.
Down, gone. Another horrendous decisions made off the field by Southampton, cost them.
Yeah.
You know, they was always in danger going down, but I didn't think that they'd be as bad as what they have since their couple of managerial changes. It's just not happened.
No. That's
yeah.
been progressive. They've kind of been flirting with relegation
Yeah.
for a while now.
Yeah.
They have been. Fulham, on the other hand, they kind of have tailed off a little bit. I know they won on
Yeah.
Monday, but obviously at one point we were pushing them for kind of like a European spot. It's tailed off a little bit, but still a 10th place finish.
Brilliant.
Great.
Delighted for them. You know what I mean?
If they
Lovely
can stay
place to go to Fulham, and long may they continue in the Premier League.
Okay, prediction for that game?
2-1.
2-1 Fulham?
Yeah, 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. Manchester United against Wolves. United are at home. They are much better at home than they are on the road. There is a danger that they also drop out to Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool 1 point behind. Liverpool have gone on this ridiculous run, and we'll talk about Liverpool a bit more. But from a Manchester United point of view, getting top 4, that's so important for them.
Yeah, good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
I'll
For
tell you
me,
what-
it's good because if they want Kane, I mean, why would Kane go to a team that's not
that's
in the
right.
Champions League? So
You know, I think Man United and old Tinny Arg are getting a bit of a free ride at the moment.
Yeah,
I think that
I agree.
been really poor, particularly in the league, particularly away from home. The players that they've got, they should be doing a lot better than what they are. And I know they've got a few injuries, but they've got a big squad. And you know, I thought they was poor against West Ham. You know, laughing at Arsenal fans, a few of them even on here, like when we got a draw there and they couldn't even get a goal there, like, you know. So you know, it's been very, very disappointing since their shock Europa League exit, really.
absolutely, there should be more questions, I think, asked about that. I mean, I know
Yeah.
they picked up the Carabao Cup. They could potentially win an FA Cup, but still, I mean, to go out in the way that they did,
Yeah,
it was really disappointing from that kind of perspective to let that drop, and then, you know, lost a 2-goal lead away at Tottenham. You know, that they just haven't.
Fortunate.
They have been fortunate, I think, to stay
Fortunate.
within that top 4, but Liverpool have kind of come out of nowhere in this last push, and I can see it being Liverpool.
Yeah, I can, and that point against Spurs now could be crucial.
Yeah.
Because I really should have lost that game.
Well, also the 3 points against Liverpool, for 3 points for Liverpool.
Yeah. So without a doubt, like, you know, I just think that you know, like, they were 2-0 up against Spurs, and I wouldn't say cruising at that stage, but you know, I don't know what Ryan done in a half-time team talk, but he turned it around, and they were fortunate. And I think at the moment, like, Liverpool have got the ascendancy. I wouldn't write. I think maybe their fixture running is pretty favourable, but you know, if something was to happen, if Wolves were to do a little bit of a madness there and get something,
Yeah.
it's game on for Liverpool. Game on.
Even so, I mean, if Yeah, I mean, if United don't pick up all 3 points, Liverpool will go above them anyway. Looking at the maths. And they've got a far better goal difference. What's your prediction for this one?
Unfortunately, 2-1.
2-1 to United.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 2-1 Wolves.
Oh, lovely. I
Don't know
like
why.
it. I like it.
United fans are going to say, you always hate United. I don't actually care. But yeah, why not?
You just want to see it.
Of course, just want to see it. I've got a few super chats. Oil City says, Abby, what's happened to your voice? And big up to Voldemort.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much.
Don't be nasty to Lee.
No, I don't mind.
Saving the day. And what's happened to my voice? We've got a little bit of illness going around the studio at the minute. So, yeah, that was basically...
The spell hasn't come on me.
No, it hasn't. Hopefully, I think I'm coming to the end of it. I think Matisse has only just hit.
Yeah, he's a wimp anyway.
He's a wimp. He's a wimp.
He is a wimp.
Facts only said, Lee and Abby, please tell the team to get Nico on the next City versus Madrid watch along. It would be nice to see him witness Real Madrid's demise. They will be keen to get him on. Ronnie Michael says, get well soon, Abby. Thank you. Come on, you gooners. That killed me to read. Thank you. Anyway. Back to where we were. Next game for the weekend is, should we talk about Aston Villa Tottenham?
Ooh.
That's actually quite a big game for the weekend.
Big game.
Well, it's quite a big game in terms of finishing within those European spots. Obviously not Champions League, but finishing, I guess, as high as you can. For me, I think what Unai Emery's done at Aston Villa is brilliant. I mean, I think maybe if he'd been there the whole season, more people would be saying about him for manager of the season. Just as a candidate, but what he's done and turned it around. You think just before the World Cup, Steven Gerrard was there. They were somewhere near the relegation zone. They are now pushing and probably will finish in some type of European place.
Yeah, you've got to give credit where credit's due. That was a good decision, really, because I don't know if Steven would have been able to turn it around.
Definitely not.
But you know, he's come in there and he's been brilliant. Really, really tough team to beat. I think that they will get Europe. I think that this game for me is Europa League. Whoever can wins this game, I think will get Europa League, and then the facing conference.
Yeah. Well, Villa are 3 points behind Tottenham on 54. So with a win, they'll go above.
I think what I look at it is if Spurs don't win that game, that ends any aspirations of top four. And
top
then,
four?
Well, you know, you're still in with a chance at this moment.
Four?
Well, mathematically, you've got to...
Oh, come on.
No, it's not going to happen, but like, I think it's over for them. But
top four.
But if they weren't to win this game, then I don't know if the season will peter out for Tottenham.
I mean,
we've
pretty much been sleepwalking since Christmas.
Yeah, it's not been. It's
dreadful.
I was just about to say it's not been great. It's been fantastic. You know what I mean? It's been absolutely fantastic.
Get off.
But yeah, I think that. I don't know where Spurs go from here. Whether, you know, like you certainly don't want that conference, do you? Like,
no,
you know,
for me personally, we have a show that's actually coming out today, which was a Spurs roundtable that we filmed yesterday. So anyone who wants to watch that, it was actually really good, even if you're not Spurs, just to see how everyone feels about it. But I would rather not have anything and finish 8th, and that's not because I'm turning my nose up at the Conference League. It's because I genuinely don't think that we should be competing in any other competition other than the Premier League. I think we need to start putting some more emphasis on a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, you know, whereas we usually get in the first round. I think those are things we need to also regroup, get a new manager, obviously, who is part of this DNA that we're trying to rebuild and get the culture back at the club. And I just think if we have the Conference League, I can just see how the squad are. They're not going to care. So I don't really see the point of being in it. And they should care, because any trophy for Tottenham is important, whether that's, you know, a Conference League or not. We don't have the luxury of saying we're too good for the Conference League. Yeah. But I would rather just have no football, like just Premier League.
It's a hard thing, you know, because we went through that, like, you know, one year without it. It is tough. That was only a few years ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago. It was tough. You know, like no midweek football whatsoever. But what it does is gets your manager, getting them on the training field, coaching them, training them, and then pushing on. And, you know, I'm not saying it's going to work with everybody, but it certainly worked with us. Yeah. And then we got into the Europa League, and then we're now obviously pushed into the Champions League. So I think that something's got to be done. Something drastic's got to happen at Spurs. And I you know, changing the manager is not drastic enough.
No, it's not.
It needs to be like pulled back to the bare bones and starting again, like, you know, and rebuilding. And it's not going to be like, oh right, a quick fix of 5 or 6 players one season and all that. it's going to take a couple of years. And
Needs a whole rebuild.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but I fancy Aston Villa to win this one.
I do too. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Aston Villa win.
Yeah, Harry Kane to score?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
100% like, 2-1 as well.
Yeah, match him. Richie's hour says, big up to Abby for coming in, being ill. Thank you. They probably wish I hadn't, to be fair. But
you knew I was coming in,
I
so
knew
that was it like, you hang in there.
I had to see Lee.
That's it, see.
To be fair, it was only when I got here that I realised Matisse wasn't here. And then I think production realised I literally have no voice, so... But I'm very happy that you're here. Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. I mean, the turnaround for Palace is just unbelievable. I mean, the respect I have to give to Roy, because everyone would have written him off before. But credit, and also from a Bournemouth standpoint, Gary O'Neill, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I couldn't believe Chelsea beat them last week. I could not believe it.
Unbelievable. But I think because probably they know they've done enough now. Sometimes
maybe
just
on the
switch
beach
off
a little
slightly.
bit.
But first and foremost, I weren't happy with the appointment of Roy, if I'll be honest, because of Patrick. But I think that Patrick would have got. Yeah, I think Patrick would have got him out of it. But
they weren't scoring under Patrick.
But they was playing against some real tough teams. But he's come in there. Credit where credit's due. Not even a worry of relegation.
It's done. It's clear.
Clear, done within the first sort of 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
And he's done a fantastic job. A bit of experience, I suppose. But if they were to get rid of Patrick, whoever then said, right, we're bringing Roy, people may have laughed at that.
Well,
it's a masterstroke.
It is a really good masterstroke.
It's an absolute
if you
wonder,
think back to when he was manager there last time, like, it wasn't the same type of football we're seeing at the minute.
No.
Like, they're scoring goals for fun. It wasn't like that. It was a little bit turgid.
Yeah.
But he's come in, he's done a wonderful job, and he's like late 70s.
Yeah, incredible.
What a guy.
Incredible. And I think his stock's gone up for now. I don't know if he'll carry on doing it.
Maybe
next
I'm
season.
stuck.
Do you know what I mean? But no, like, he sort of left on a bit of a cloud, didn't he?
Yeah.
At Palace, and sometimes it can help you, and it certainly helped him. I don't know what he'll want to do, but I think he's got his, which he shouldn't have probably had, but he's got his respect back because of it, and done a wonderful job. And Gary O'Neill, what can you say about that one?
Just
as well?
brilliant, absolutely
unbelievable.
brilliant.
I thought they was down.
They're not going down, but I think they need one more win just for me to be safe.
I think they're all right now. I honestly felt. I don't know. Even when he was given the job, I felt that they was.
I thought they were going to go down.
They was gone, and even against Arsenal, you remember the 3-2 defeat, could have knocked the stuffing out of them. Gone on from there, So that's terrific managing from him to be able to galvanise those players again and get them going. And with the budget, if anybody's ever been down there, it's it's the smallest ground. I don't know how they survive. Yeah, I don't know how they survive really, but they do. And every season that they survive, it's like getting into the Champions League for teams like.
It is. It's massive.
Teams.
Massive.
It's unbelievable. So well done to them.
Prediction for this game?
I'm going to go Palace 2-0.
Oh.
I just think that.
I'm going to go draw.
You're going to go draw?
I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2.
I think Palace is a difficult place to play.
It is, but I think Bournemouth have been quite good. I thought that game against Chelsea. I like Bournemouth. I just they're overachieving for me.
Lovely beaches.
I have been to Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's nice.
I went and it was raining.
Oh.
But no, I think
Not so good.
I think they're overachieving a lot. Obviously, they beat Tottenham as well. Not difficult, but I was surprised that they got beat by Chelsea.
That was a great result, by the way.
For them, yeah.
For them, yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, Chelsea against Nottingham Forest. Forest with that win earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Ended up being quite close.
They needed that.
Ended up being closer than they would have liked.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of goals going in.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
No one can defend.
Yeah, defending is... the art of defending's gone out of the Premier League.
It's long gone.
Long gone.
Long gone. Chelsea are at home. They will have picked up some confidence from that win last week over Bournemouth. They are safe, Chelsea fans, finally, at last, with 42 points.
Well done, Chelsea.
Well done, Chelsea, and getting yourself out of the relegation battle. For me, I think, do we see Chelsea go on a run now to the end of the season?
I'd love Chelsea to go on a run.
Would you?
I would love Chelsea to go on a run, win this one, and then beat Man City the following week. That would be lovely, give their confidence up, But I do think Chelsea, they need to win at home, don't they?
But also Forest are absolutely fighting for their lives. They're on 33 points, they're 16th, but again, it's just 3 points that separates them from 18th.
Well, Forest would love to win there. Would love to win there. That would be a real good thing for them. But I just think that, you know, Frank's got to win a home game somewhere along the line.
I mean, he was very close to being 007.
Yeah, so
Very close.
007. So I think I don't think it's going to be a great game. 2-1, 1-1, 1-0 maybe, but the odd goal, I think Chelsea's favourite. And I'm going to go. If it was the other way round, and it was at Forest, I'd go Forest. I think home advantage on this one.
Okay, I think I'm going to back Forest. Because why not?
Why not?
I'm just going to go with a 1-0 Forest. 1-0 Forest win. All right, moving on to Sunday. Everton against Manchester City. Everton, I mean, I don't think anybody would have seen that result coming on Monday.
Unbelievable.
I didn't even realise it was 5 in the end, right? 5-1.
5-1.
I left the house and it was 3. And I was like, I thought that was it. And I was like, what? They beat Brighton at home. 5. Unbelievable, this league. It's mad.
It is mad. It is mad.
But they host Manchester City. That is a different outfit to Brighton.
Yeah, it is.
As good as Brighton are. I know you're going to be hoping that Sean Dyche pulls out a worldy performance for them.
Yeah, I'm going to get some toffees and watch the game. But no, I think this is the game. This is the game for Man City. I think if Man City win this game, they win the league. The one game you don't want in between a semi-final Real Madrid is someone like Everton that can come there and put it on you. And I think that's why it was important that Arsenal won at Newcastle, because I'm pretty sure if that would have gone the other way, I think Pep would have made a lot more changes. He'll make changes, but he'll be reluctant to. He'll have to leave a couple of them in there that he don't want to.
Luckily for them, they've got so much depth.
They've got so much depth, but fatigue is the one hope, you know. And whatever happens on Sunday, you know, physical Everton team giving them a little bit more fit might put them in a little bit of danger.
They will have had 5 days to rest, though. So I know we talk about fatigue, but they will have had 5 days. It's not like they played Wednesday and play Saturday. They're playing Sunday, they play Tuesday and play Sunday.
But then they've got the Sunday and then the Tuesday.
Well, that's
is it Sunday. Sunday and the Wednesday.
Sunday and Wednesday. But this is first. So this is important.
So, like, you know, this is the game.
This
is the game.
Oh,
you know, I mean, this is the one. If Everton can produce a madness, not only for the sake of that magnificent North London team, they could actually do themselves a massive favour. I think if they can get a win here, then they'll survive.
Hopefully not.
We want Everton to go down.
I don't care. As long as City win, I don't care. I don't care.
Listen, if Everton win that game, like, I'll be forever grateful, and I hope they survive. But I think this is the game.
It's huge.
Whatever happens, if Manchester City win this game, then that's it.
But equally, if you win on Sunday, you'll still only be a point behind.
Yeah, but they've still got
a game in hand.
They've got that game in hand.
What's your prediction for this game?
I've got my heart. I think it'll be a draw. I think that Everton will get a draw in this game, like, you know, 1-1.
I'm just backing City. Have to.
What are you going for?
City win, don't care how.
I don't care how.
Don't care how. Just City win. City win all day. Brentford, West Ham. West Ham, they've had turn in their fortunes now. I'd say that they're pretty safe at 37 points, 15th place. Unlikely they're going to get dragged back into anything. And Brentford, another one that we give a lot of credit to. They're only 4 points. Well, actually, no, they're 5 points off of a European spot. But, you know, even a 9th place finish is great.
It's been incredible. You know, what a job he's done, by the way.
I love Thomas Frank.
Wow, what a job he's done.
Great manager.
They've just probably blown out a little bit, like lost a little big fatigue may have took its toll on their small squad and all that. But they're still capable, you know, of pulling out a result here and there. So I'm still clinging on to, like, they could do some madness later on in the next couple of games. But whatever happens for them, they've done fantastically well. West Ham, by the way, you know, what a turnaround. I thought a few weeks ago that they may well go down.
Well, West Ham Nicky,
no faith.
has always been saying, you know, for months, we're going down, we're down. But, you know,
too many good
credit
players
to David Moyes, because they didn't sack him, they stuck with him, and he's turned it around.
And why would you sack David Moyes?
And to be honest with you, sometimes that's actually the better thing to do. Sometimes it's better to stick it out, and I genuinely also believe that Leicester, had they have just stick with Rodgers, I don't think they'd be in the situation.
I'm 100% with you, like,
as bad as they are.
You know, an unbelievable decision, because, you know, you have to weigh it up. Brendan Rodgers, right? You're going to get rid of Brendan. Who are you going to bring in better than Brendan Rodgers?
David Moyes as well.
And David Moyes. Who are you going to bring in that's better than David Moyes? And I think they're probably they would have had a discussion, West Ham, and said, right, okay, let's sack him then, right? You know? And they said, right, who are we going to bring in?
There was no
and
one
then
better
there was
to
no one
replace him
better.
with.
So they said, you know what, we'll keep with him. And part of me is pleased that West Ham have done that. And he's done fantastically well over the last couple of years at West Ham.
And they could also win the Conference League. They're in a semi-final.
I think that they will.
They will have been in a semi-final this year, and last year got to a final.
Yeah.
So you have to sometimes realise where your expectations. I know that it hasn't been a good season, but I think that you have to give credit. David Moyes has credit. I think had credit.
He had credit in the bank.
I had credit in the bank,
and he used it up.
I think you'll be happy in the long run that you didn't sack him.
Yeah.
Because the options that you've seen clubs sack their managers and who they've got in, for sure, it's better to stick with him.
Exactly like. And I think sometimes you have to look at that, who can you get in that's better than
and
David
also
Moyes?
who's realistic.
Who's realistic? Yeah, I mean, there ain't that many managers out there, that you would really, even with Tottenham, you go there's one or two, and Tottenham have got a bigger
pull,
than
West Ham,
than say someone like West Ham. So, I think he's done fantastically well, and he's been under a lot of pressure. And I remember the game against Fulham, I think, and went and got the result. And I think that's when it matters. When there's been a little bit of pressure on, he's delivered. And I think
agree.
that's
better late than never. He's turned it around.
Yeah.
Prediction for this one?
I'm going to go for a draw.
Okay, I can see that. 1-1. Yeah, great. Arsenal, Brighton. This is a huge game. Huge. Because I know it's at you, but still, Brighton are going to want to bounce back from last week because that's very uncharacteristic of Brighton. First and foremost, you are going to obviously want to keep the pressure on, make sure you pick up your points. You would have seen what happened with City earlier on in the day.
Yeah.
This is still going to be a tough game. I know you beat them last time, 4-2. But that game actually was a lot closer than it should have been. It should have actually been 4-3. That was so marginal. I remember it so clearly. That was so marginally offside from Matoma. It was so marginally. But I think this is a tough game.
It's a tough game. I think the game for Brighton, I think they played Man United on the Thursday and then the Sunday game came too early for them. I think maybe there was a little bit of fatigue, got a few little injuries. I think maybe with Brighton, which is my big worry for them going when they play Man City, is that I just think they're getting a little bit tired along the way, picking up a few injuries, the FA Cup and whatever. And I think that, they've got a few little injuries, but I tell you what, they're a dangerous team. Dangerous team, and I really do think this game will depend a lot on what happens an hour before at Everton.
Sure.
If anything happened where Everton got the draw or even better a win, it would be the stadium will be I don't know what
either nervy or.
Well, I
really
think there'll be that pressure a little bit more nervy, but excitement pressure, So, I'm going to have a few beers before the game and see what happens, But I think it's a massive game for Arsenal as well.
It's huge, absolutely, and also Brighton. They've still got 2 games in hand.
Would be. Listen, I want Arsenal
can
to
finish.
beat Brighton.
Yeah,
but Brighton do deserve some sort of European football.
I think they will. I mean, I definitely think that they're going to finish above Tottenham. I can't see them not, to be honest with you.
But they've got in those. We've got 5. Have they got 5 games to play or 4 games?
They've got 5.
They've got 5.
5
2
games.
of those games are Arsenal and Manchester City. So
okay, maybe not then.
So it could be a little bit awkward, and I would want to see them. So hopefully Arsenal beat them, and then they go and beat.
I'm a very big Brighton fan, so hopefully that
really?
I really like Brighton. So hopefully they
Funny,
win.
there's a lot of teams you like these days.
I do. Do you know? I don't like my own. All right, what's your prediction for that game?
I've actually had to go big in the Forever Arsenal, but I'm not. I think it'd be
You're regretting it.
No, I've had to do it for points, but I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. All right, last.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Last but not least is Leicester against Liverpool. Leicester, as we said, fighting for their lives. Liverpool with a win that can take them into those Champions League places.
Well, Leicester have to win this game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're not going to survive.
No. I mean, they are.
That is it.
I mean, they're still on 30 points, but again, I just cannot see them getting out of it. And for me, Dean Smith, that's not a signing that, or as a manager, that would instill any type of faith in me. But I do think the players that they've got, they should be doing better.
Yeah, 100%. I
Definitely
don't know what's gone on.
That performance on Monday, it's just not acceptable. Like, then you decide halfway through the game you want to turn up. Like,
yeah. Look, listen, Leicester, it's a fairy tale what's happened to them winning the Premier League and the FA Cup as well. And
Community
then to
Shield.
get relegated in that sort
They've had some good times.
It's incredible what's happened there. I can't believe it, if I'll be honest. I can't believe that Leicester,
yeah.
from a year ago, 2 years ago,
2 years.
if it weren't for Maddison getting injured, they'd have got Champions League football.
Yeah.
And they're just missing out on a top 4 finish twice. Then to be where they are in the last 2 years, it's just been unbelievable. It's been a fairy tale and then a nightmare.
Yeah.
An absolute nightmare.
But look, they've had even if they do go down, they've got lots to show for what they've got. For a club like Leicester, they've got a lot to show for it. They've won a Premier League, they've won an FA Cup, a Community Shield.
Would you take that though? It's a really.
Would I take it?
I don't know. Like, would you take I don't know.
What, to get relegated?
Yeah, to Tottenham, I don't think would.
As long as I can see a Premier League in my
so
life.
you say like Premier League, FA Cup,
but then
you knew that relegation was coming.
I think they'll come back up. Look, sometimes
there's no guarantee that.
There's no guarantee, but I think that the way that they are, obviously they need to clear out first and foremost. Like, that squad is beyond stale, like 2 years stale, and I think sometimes you need to regroup. But in all honesty, Leicester is a different size club to Tottenham. With respect,
I suppose like clubs like Leicester and all that maybe take that. N.Forest, of course, won leagues and then Champions League. It was a European Cup then, but then they've been relegated and everything like that. But I don't know. It's a tough one that for me. I can't believe they've let themselves get into this position.
They shouldn't do with the squad they've got.
No. And do you know what? They've made fantastic decisions off the field all the way through their times with managers.
They're actually quite critical, the Leicester fans, because I always used to say that about their board and say, obviously they run the club really well, and I don't know if it's COVID that's affected them a little bit. Obviously they run by an airline.
Yeah.
I don't know if that caused some issues, and I know there was a lot of debt, but the chairman wrote a lot of that debt off.
Yeah.
So he's there for the long haul, but I think that these things come in cycles, and I just think that this, they've still got players there that won the league with them. Like Mark Albrighton, and that's like 7 years ago.
I think, and to let Schmeichel go and not replace him, I think would be the mistake of all, because a goalkeeper is so important. It's not the be and end all, but it's so important. And I just
leaders
think,
as well.
Yeah,
leaders.
and I think defensively they've been making mistakes maybe because of that. But when you've got a top goalkeeper and you just decide to let him go and let him go to Nice. I didn't really understand that.
Well, he obviously wanted to go, but I also think they've sold a lot of players over the years. You think Harry Maguire being one, Mahrez being another, Chilwell, a bit Fofana, and then I get it, they obviously needed the money, but it hasn't been reinvested in the right way for me. For sure. Liverpool though, what do you reckon? They finish in the top 4, yes or no?
No.
No.
I just think that Man United have just got enough, what I would say, not easy games, but I think that they've got 2 of their 3 games are at home, and I just think that they just have enough to get over it. I think Liverpool just left it too late.
They've hit form. I think
just
hit form
2 weeks before.
Time.
1 week too early for me, because I felt like they've won. Is it 6 wins or 7 wins and the draw against us? But I think that. Look, listen, I'd love to see Liverpool do it, if I'll be honest, but I don't think it's going to. I just think that maybe but
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, well, if it does happen, it'd be
I think it'll be funny.
It'll be more than funny.
Really funny.
It'll be more than funny.
Right, what was your scoreline for this game, Leicester-Liverpool?
I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah. Even though Leicester are at home, I'd be surprised if they could pull anything out of this game.
Yeah.
I actually might go 3.
Especially do you imagine if things have gone well for Liverpool?
Yeah.
That weekend, then there's only one outcome, and I think that then will be the end of Leicester, which is a shame.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. I apologise about my voice, but I've seen all of your lovely comments, so thank you very much. Lee, you saved the day.
Thank you very much. It's been a while. It was a pleasure. Like when I knew I was coming, like you was here, I've got the fast train. Simple as that, now.
He's such a flat, honestly. That is everything for Game Day preview. We will see you on Monday for Weekend Roundup. Have a good weekend and good luck to all your teams.